The AndroidView Interoperability API allows you to use existing Android views in your Compose code. This could be because maybe you've built out a custom view that you use all over your app already, or maybe there's simply a view that doesn't exist to Compose yet, like AndroidView. Let's jump into Android Studio, and I'm specifically going to talk about the case where we're looking at a custom view that you've built already in XML, and maybe you don't have time to rebuild it in Compose, or for whatever reason, it'd be too complicated. Let's say design wants to make a change to that, and now you have two separate code bases where you have to maintain it, and that's just not sustainable. So we're just going to reuse what we've already built until such a time that we can replace all instances of it with a composable. So here, we're looking at Android Studio, something that you may or may not be familiar with. And, I'm an Android developer, so I built my design straight out of XML. But let's say your designer gives you something like this, where you just have a list of things, a list of options, and then you have this confirm cancel button set at the bottom. And let's say that this confirm cancel button set is something you use all over your app. And it's a custom view that you built out because your designers love it. So we're going to look at a case where, all right, now we're starting to convert our code base to Compose. We're building a new feature, but we want to use the same confirm cancel button set. So here, because this is a video about the interoperability API, I've already built out the rest of the view, and it's not really very interesting, and some of it is just a little bit kind of hacky just to get the point across, just so we have something to look at. But the really interesting thing that we're looking at today is that Android view. So this is where we're going to add it, and we see here, we already have that list of options, and we just need to add that this custom view that's built in XML, but we want to use the Android View API. So we're just going to come in here, and we're going to say Android View, and the required field is factory. And this factory is, it returns, it's a Lambda function. It gives you a context, right? And so that's what we're going to need to be able to instantiate this custom view. So mine's called confirm button set, and I can just pass in that context, and we can see it loading here, and hopefully once it's loaded you'll see that it did in fact add so it added in this confirm cancel. It doesn't look exactly like what the designers wanted to look like yet, but we do see it in there already, and that's pretty cool. So let's do this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a modifier on there, because just like every other composable, the Android View API allows you the ability to assign a modifier to it so that you can alter this view's appearance. And so we're going to say we want those to fill max width, and we want some padding on there, just so that it's not edge to edge. And once we do that, you'll be able to see that it now it does look exactly like the designs once it's done loading. Yeah, so that looks pretty much exactly like the original designs that the designers gave us, but we still have to make it functional. And so this factory Lambda that we're looking at here, this is where we're going to set up the initial state of that view. So, let's say that you want that confirm button to be initially set to disabled, because what are you confirming if you don't have, in this example, you have some options that you can check. You can't confirm without selecting an option, maybe. So we're going to say, so one of the APIs that this custom view has is this set confirm enabled. So we're just going to say false. And then let's go ahead and run that in an emulator just so we can confirm that indeed once the app starts up, that probably skip through this, honestly. So yeah, we just want to confirm that the confirm button is disabled, and it is disabled. The cancel button is not. Cool. And then now you say, all right, well, now how do I enable that confirm button once an option is checked? So to do that, there is an update parameter in the Android view. And here you can see it that is passed is the confirm button set that was instantiated in the in this factory. And so what we can do here is we can say dot set confirm enabled, so the same API that we use there. And now we're just going to check if any of these checkboxes have been checked. And we save this up here in something called checked indexes. And so we're just going to see if checked indexes is not empty. And if it's not empty, then we're going to enable. And if it is empty, then it's going to be disabled. Excellent. So you see the app built, it's disabled by default, but if we check something, you can see that now it's enabled. And then if I uncheck it, it's reactive, so it's automatically going to disable again, and it doesn't matter how many we click, it's not going to randomly disable, and it still re-disables once all of the options are actually unclicked. Awesome. But now we want to add some click actions to this to these buttons, and so click actions are going to be added because that's kind of the initial condition of this view. So those are going to be added in the factory. So let's say set confirm on click confirm, which is, again, this is just an API that this custom view is exposing. So on click confirm, we're going to say, we're just going to launch a toast. Maybe you're going to navigate in a real app, but we're just going to show a toast, and we're going to say which ones are checked. And so we're just going to say checked indexes. And so now when I click that button, it should tell me in a toast all of the options that I've checked. So I'm going to check 4 and 5, and if I click it, you can see checked 4 and 5. And like I said, normally maybe you're going to do some navigation there, or maybe there's an API call that you're going to hit through your view model. But in this case, we're just going to launch a toast. And then maybe something else we're going to say is, what does cancel do? And so maybe cancel is going to reset that list of checked options, or maybe it would do navigation as well. But in this case, we're going to just set that list of checked options to an empty list. That way, it's going to clear out all of those selected options. So we're going to say checked indexes equals empty list, and we'll run that again. And so we can check some options, we can confirm. If we hadn't confirmed, we could click cancel, and you'll see that the options are now unselected, and confirm is disabled because nothing is checked, and it doesn't matter how many or which options are checked. If we click cancel, it's still going to clear that out. So there you go. This was a super simple example of how you can use the Android View API with a very simple custom view or existing Android view that doesn't exist in Compose yet. Yeah,